Welcome to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Fings.
We're back, man.
Yes, sir.
About to get into it. Episode 187. Let's do it, Keith.
Let's get straight into it.
With our powers combined, I am Captain Planet.
Soybean. No, I'm just playing.
Oh, soybeans. Vegetarian.
I do this like Power Rangers when it's really with the ring.
No, can you imagine if they did that in 2021? It'd be like soybeans, liberalism, vegans. That'd be crazy.
Rainbow powers.
Rainbow powers. He's stupid. Oh man. All right. Let's get right into it, man. Vanessa Hudgens. Vanessa Hudgens hates water. Apparently, she hates water so much that she was dehydrated and she passed out. All right. Here's the story. Vanessa Hudgens says she dislikes water so much that she passed out from dehydration. Vanessa Hudgens has opened up to shape her dislike of plain water, so much so she admitted to fainting twice from dehydration. The 32-year-old actress has since added businesswoman to her resume after releasing her own line of cactus water to quench her thirst. Created with the friend and actor Oliver Trevina, Hudgens described Cali water as a breed of its own with a ton of health benefits. Anyone who knows me knows I'm terrible at drinking water. I am always dehydrated. It's an issue, she told ET earlier this year. But now I have Cali water. I call it my candy water because it's actually something that I want to drink. Oh, God. It has tons of electrolytes, so great for rehydrating. And this is how she probably talks, so I'm going to read it. That's how she talks. It has a ton of, like, electrolytes, so great for rehydrating, and it's, like, great for anti-inflammatory. It has, like, a ton of antioxidants, which are really good for your skin, and it's antiviral qualities. It can lower bad cholesterol, and it regulates blood sugar levels, so it's kind of like Miracle Plan, really. That's exactly how Vanessa Hudgens talks.
That's crazy.
Here's the problem. That sounds very childish.
Yeah.
Saying you don't like water sounds like something a fucking 4-year-old would say.
Yeah.
You know, not to mention, like, if you don't drink water, that's a huge red flag. Mm-hmm. That's a certain level of immaturity that you don't even want to deal with. Mm-hmm. If you tell me you don't drink water, we're done. I'm not texting you no more, nothing.
Especially if you're a person that consumes alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could drink Hennessy but not water? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Vanessa Hudgens drinking a hen dog.
Oh my God. I don't know what she's drinking, but
there's this law firm. It's kind of off of California and like O Street or something like that. Uh-huh. But it's called Hennessy Law.
Wow.
And I was like, yo, dog, if y'all don't take that anything is possible and like tag that onto y'all like commercial, I kind of want to knock on the door like, yo, I got this great idea.
Yeah. Wow. It's called Hennessy Law?
Mm-hmm. That's the dude's last name, I guess.
They ain't getting no work done in that motherfucker. They fucked up.
John Hennessy.
Yeah, that is so wild. Yeah, man. But to me, too, the problem I have with it, too, is like, you could imagine just like your overall health is at its lowest, like when you're not drinking water, you're dehydrated. Like, where are you getting energy from? And then your body is made up mostly of water. Mm. So it's like, how are you even like functioning? Not to mention too, like I don't have education in regards or educational background in regards to vaginas, but I'm sure that should do something to you to your pH balance. Mm-hmm. So if you have dark pee and you're dehydrated, that's got to do something to your vaginal health, too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she could be walking around with an unhealthy vagina, and that's not good.
That's probably some dude out there like, yo, you know who I just smashed last week? She was fired, too, but her pussy stank.
That's bad, dude. Especially...
those are kind of rumors that just spread around Hollywood.
Right. Especially if you enjoy going down on women. It's going to ruin the experience. Yeah. Like, if I'm going to be eating your pussy, you got to be like Subway, because I got to eat fresh. I need that pussy to smell like fresh bread from Subway when I go down there.
Not sourdough bread.
Not the sourdough bread. Not the jalapeno baked bread either. Just the basic wheat toasted bread.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. Like some sour vagina.
Man, that'd be terrible. It'd be like you eating some fucking warheads down there. It tastes like warheads and metal.
You know that sour face that they make? Like,
Oh, when they eat the candy?
yeah, like where you kind of like.
That's how you come up from eating the pussy? That's terrible. But think about this, ladies. Imagine if we expected you to go down on us and we had stanky nuts.
Yeah.
And I'm sure women have horror stories of men they probably were about to go down on a guy and the dude's nuts smell like terrorism. You know? So it's like if when a woman's gonna do that to me, I make sure my nuts are fresh. Everything's always on point.
Yeah, you gotta be cool.
You will not have stories about me having stank nuts. That's just not gonna happen.
Yeah.
And I drink a lot of water because it's important. I'm a big guy too. You gotta make sure you got enough fuel to move the machine. If you don't, you're gonna have problems.
Yeah. To go along with that point where you said it was childish, I remember when I was in 4th grade, I was, for whatever reason, I don't know, it's just, just immaturity, I guess. And even today, I'm still not as great at drinking water as I would like to be. Mm-hmm. But I stopped having a mushy brain only a few years ago, so I'm still I'm still developing. But when I was in 4th grade, like I developed a ring around my lip because I would lick my lips so much and I wasn't drinking a lot of water. And it was terrible, man. Like it just started crusting up, and I just had this bad habit of like trying to put some moisture on my lips because I wasn't drinking enough water. Especially in Bakersfield, it's so hot out here and stuff like that. So. But that was 4th grade me. You know what I mean? For Vanessa Hudgens to be 30-something years
32.
old and she's still doing that is just kind of like, come on, dog. And maybe water tastes amazing to some people. Right. Water just tastes like cool to me. You know what I mean? It tastes better when you're dehydrated. Sometimes when you're dehydrated and it's that perfect temperature, it tastes like heaven. But for the most part, you're just drinking it to kind of, just move things along.
Cool water tastes better than cold water.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. Cool water. Mm-hmm. Not cold, but cool water is more drinkable. When water is too cold, it makes it non-drinkable. Because it's like you freezing your whole brain out just trying to get hydrated.
I like cold water, bro. I can't.
Cold water is good. It's got a bite to it. But if you're really trying to drink water, like if your objective is to get around a gallon at least, then you can't be drinking cold water. It's going to take you forever.
Yeah, I could see that. But me personally, just the taste of it, like pretty much the colder, because like we have the water Alhambra thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's the cool water. Like drinking that is cool. But when I throw some ice cubes in there, it's like perfection.
Not all water is good though, because Arrowhead water is fucked up. Oh, it's so terrible.
Arrowhead water tastes like Vanessa Hudgens' vagina.
I don't know what it tastes like. That's all I want to say, but I would imagine her pH balance is off. Now, Arrowhead water tastes like racism in the 30s, man. That shit is so fucked up. Mm-hmm. It tastes like they took a little bit of dirt and put it in every bottle. That's how bad Arrowhead water tastes, like literally.
Yeah.
It's like it's like tap water from Iraq. It's so fucked up. It's so nasty.
Yeah. That's straight from Mexico.
What?
They just put Mexico water in their Arrowhead water.
Arrowhead water? Yeah. Well, Mexico water, you're not supposed to drink the water there. You know that, right?
You ain't supposed to drink Arrowhead water either.
No, well, look, I know where you're going with the joke, Keith, but it's not landing right.
Okay.
Mexico.
Eddie wants to be serious all of a sudden.
No.
1930s racism. He wants to be serious.
No, but the water in Mexico, they call it like Montezuma's revenge or something. You could get like really sick from it.
You get poisons.
Yeah.
Diarrhea.
And I like to look these things up as I go along, so I'm not just talking out my ass. Mm-hmm. I think it's called, let's see. Okay. What does this say? Traveler's diarrhea, especially when contracted in Mexico. So you could get Montezuma revenge. What causes Montezuma revenge in Mexico? The unpleasant souvenir is usually caused by an intestinal bacteria, virus, or microbes that are present in water or food. See, you learn something listening to a Trucker's Mind podcast when you turn this on. It's not just two extremely handsome black guys talking and one of them having
sex symbols up here.
It's not two sex symbols. We are more than sexual objects. Okay, for all the 6 people that watch us on YouTube, we are not just sexual objects that you could just,
That's comedy.
Yeah, the YouTube is still struggling, man. We got to get it up. Our numbers are doing amazing on SoundCloud and all the other platforms.
Yeah.
Our numbers are thriving on there, but since we're just new to YouTube, man, head over there and check us out, man. We appreciate you. We appreciate you guys that just listen, right? That you've been listening for years. We appreciate you, but head on over to YouTube.
Yeah,
subscribe.
Watch us. We bought this $1,000 camera just so one person could watch us. So
that motherfucker was over $1,000. That was a $2,000 camera. What was it, $2,600 camera?
I don't know if it was that high. It might have been like 20. I mean, probably with all the bells and whistles, probably like 26.
Yeah, man. Yeah. You know, help us out, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, just, you know.
I got bills to pay.
Just turn it on and turn it off, man.
Yeah, I mean, just put it on in the background or something like that.
Just drive those numbers up, man.
When you go into sleep, just click on the video and then just, turn it
on. Eddie and Keith begged me to do it.
Yeah. We need like a streaming farm or something like that.
Right. We need a bunch of people in like China to make the numbers go up.
I don't even think they got YouTube in China.
Oh, they don't?
Yeah.
They don't got YouTube. That's a trip.
They don't got a lot of American... like whatever. I wouldn't call YouTube a social media, but different stuff from America, internet companies or whatever.
Dang, yeah, they don't. That's right. The internet, everything is controlled out there.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was somebody tried to stream something on there, like exposing the government or whatever, and they literally took that shit down within like 2 minutes.
That's crazy.
That's nuts.
That's a different world over there.
That's another world. During COVID, they was pulling people out of their house.
Mm-hmm.
Pulling people out of their house, like with their family, giving them temperature checks, and just taking them out the house. That's crazy.
I couldn't imagine, man.
Yeah, that's nuts.
They was over there washing the streets.
Yeah.
Imagine if that same team was in downtown LA.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they still wouldn't be able to fix LA, that homelessness. Chinese government be mad as fuck. Like, you get out the street. What are you doing? He's like, I'm chilling, man. What? Leave me alone, man. You ain't got a sandwich? You got some change? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine if like can you imagine somebody like what's the dude from North Korea?
Kim Jong.
Can you imagine that Kim Jong-un his responsibility was like literally overseeing Skid Row in Los Angeles?
They'd be pulling their hair out.
That man, I think he would be pissed off. He would just leave and then come back with a bomber plane.
Him and Dennis Rodman.
I fixed the problem. I fix it. Like, no, you can't bomb the homeless community. What are you doing?
With a nuke? That's wild.
It's like, dang. It's like, this nigga dropped a nuclear weapon.
Hey, speaking of like bombs, I don't know if you was like at your crib late last night, probably around like midnight, like 12:30. There was this like huge explosion.
I heard that.
You heard that?
Yeah, I heard that.
I was gonna hit you, but I didn't.
Oh, I heard it. That shit was loud as fuck.
I have no idea what that was, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it was it could have been a firework turned into a bomb, or it could have been the railroad system. But no, it can't be the railroad because they're loud, but not that loud.
Yeah, that's what. And I looked on this like the police scanners because sometimes people like will call in and be like, "Hey, I heard a loud thing," and then whatever, there'll be like people responding to it. They'll be like, "Oh, never mind, it's a firework," all that kind of stuff. But when I heard that, it was not only loud, but I felt it.
Yeah.
Like you could feel the vibe.
Yeah, you could.
Sound waves. So I was like, dang.
It sounded like the way, it sounded like the inside of Vanessa Hudgens' body responding to dehydration. Her body's like, get me out of here. Oh, man. Yeah, but just folks, man, take care of yourself, man. Don't be like Vanessa Hudgens. She's a celebrity. She's very rich, but she's obviously childish. And I don't want to judge a person's whole existence based off that, but you need to drink some fucking water. Be an adult.
Speaking of water, this show is sponsored by Keith's Water.
This show is sponsored by a plain bottle of water out of a canteen from World War II. That motherfucker, you can hear every liquid ounce of water in that thing next to the microphone. They're gonna hear it. That shit's like, it made every noise.
Nah, but these is not to be like promoting anything on here, but these is fire.
What's the name? What's the brand of that?
It's Take Ya. I don't know, like
what?
Take. Yeah.
Let me see the front of it. Wow, Take Ya. That's the name of it.
Yeah, hopefully we get a sponsor one day. But literally,
is that a Trey Songz brand?
wait.
Take your girl. It's Mr. Take Your Girl.
It's Mr. Steal Your Girl.
Whatever it is.
But no, like I can put some ice in here in the morning, probably like 9:30, 10 a.m. and probably up until like if it's like left in the car super hot, but if it's just room temperature, I could probably still have the ice in there in some capacity. Not all the way as whole as it was, but probably a little few pieces of ice left in there, probably 6, 7 p.m. at night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Man.
it stays super cold.
Did you dye your beard again? A different color?
No, the color is fading, so it's kind of, and I got water in there.
It looked like you dipped it in root beer. I was like, what the fuck is going on? It was red. It was like legitimately red. Now it's turning like brownish.
Yeah, what happens is you strip the color and then you put the dye on there.
Oh.
So as the vibrant colors, it just kind of fades away. So like I don't know if you've seen like Tekashi 6ix9ine, like sometimes his hair be looking like faded and then he'll dye it again or whatever. But.
Yeah, I think even the hair dye knows he's full of shit. And it's just like, I got to get out of here. Getting off this guy's head. Fuck this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's that, folks.
Yeah,
Drink some water. Drink some water. Take care of yourself. Fellas, take care of yourself down there, man. Because this might affect men too.
Yeah, you never know.
We ain't got no pH balance, but you might have stank nuts if you don't drink enough water.
Yeah.
I would imagine your urine is darker.
Yeah.
And it's smelly.
If you want women down there, that's not the right.
It's not the right stuff, man.
That's not the way. And on top of that, like I've walked into many bathrooms where somebody didn't flush the toilet or something like that.
Oh, man.
And it's just dark
Yeah.
yellow. Yeah,
The
like
pee
a
is
mustard color yellow. And it's just like, yo, I know they ain't drinking no water.
Nah, you got to think about that's coming out of you. That's a warning sign. Your body's trying to tell you like, hey, man.
Yeah.
You stank on the inside.
Yeah. Or get some cactus water or whatever she's drinking.
Something, man. She's got to do better than that, man. All right, switching gears. Jonah Hill. Recently, Jonah Hill had mentioned his body issues, and he was basically explaining to people that he is not comfortable with any type of comments regarding his body, whether they be good or bad. Jonah Hill lost weight. He still doesn't want people talking about it, understandably so. To many of us, still haven't learned that no one's entitled to talk about someone else's body. We watch the praise or scrutiny pour in at home when a loved one gains or loses weight. And we watch the praise and scrutiny pour in on social media when celebrities shed pounds or put them on. While the average person will at some point dodge questions about their weight, celebrities endure articles, Twitter threads, and podcasts speculating about the motivations behind their size changes. Fat fans may even be betrayed by someone who loses weight. I'm someone whose weight cycles, this is in quote, I believe, so I'm not immune to the comments. I've been told I look skeletal and disgusting, or no, this is the person writing it. Come on, you got to be a little more objective than that. Or that I need to eat a cheeseburger, and I've been told that I look like I run marathons because I'm curvy. People that run marathons aren't curvy. I've had people ask to take photos of my big butt to show their husbands, or even point my butt out to others. But I've never had the courage to ask people to stop talking about my weight, like Jonah Hill did this week.
She made an article about Jonah Hill about
and then
her.
made it about herself. You need to stop writing, man.
And she made it about her butt. There was like 3 or 4 statements in there about how thick she is, how curvy she is. Yeah.
Like what? Like, do you want credit for this, or are you writing an article? Are you writing an objective piece for Jonah Hill, or are you writing this about yourself?
Yeah, I didn't even think we needed that.
I didn't need to read all that. I should have just cut
Jonah
it off.
Hill's freaking
yeah,
statement.
I should have just wrote his statement. Yeah, because the journalistic standard is so fucking low in this one. Dude, I'm a truck driver. I have no form of formal education outside of like 2 years of college, and I dropped out. And I know you're full of shit. These people have college degrees.
Not all of them, though.
Not all of them?
That looks like a blog or something.
Like a blog? Mm-hmm. She looks like she got paid in pizza to write this shit. If you take,
She basically said, "Hey guys, I'm thick, and Jonah Hill's dealing with some issues, but I'm thick."
That's all she said.
Yeah, and I'm curvy.
She reinforced it by saying she was thick. Oh my God! You know how you can fix the world's problems, Keith? Just explain how thick you are.
That's wild.
That'll be crazy. Anyways, Jonah Hill doesn't want people talking about his body. But here's the problem I have with it. The problem I have with this is this. If you were morbidly obese and you were morbidly obese for many years and then I hadn't seen you in 2 or 3 years and then I see you now and you've lost like 120 pounds, I'm the type of dude that's going to give it up. I'm going to be like, hey, man, you look amazing. You look great, man. I'm proud of you. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm going to give it. That's how I give it up to people. Yeah. I'm proud of you, man. You look amazing. God bless you, right? Mm-hmm. But he's saying don't do that.
Yeah.
And it's like, motherfucker, that's not how the world works. Mm-hmm. And the problem, too, is you can't dictate how the whole world shouldn't have to make reservations for you. That's just not realistic.
Yeah.
Like, don't talk about my body. Don't look at well, your body exists, motherfucker.
Yeah.
It fucking exists. And the way you feel about it, you may not like your body very much. But that's a problem with you, homie. You need to update your thinking. I'm just being honest. And I know you're wildly insecure about whatever's going on. I get it. But it's also true that the world is not going to change because you told them to. That is not how things fucking work.
Yeah.
It was a dude not too long ago that told me, hey, can you not curse around my son? And I just didn't even really acknowledge what he was saying. I just went on about my business. But I wanted to tell him, like, hey, motherfucker, the world doesn't stop for your kid. Mm-hmm. The world don't stop. As soon as your kid walks out this grocery store, somebody's going to be talking about fucking or somebody did this and fuck that because the world doesn't stop for you. The world operates the way it does. That's just sets an unrealistic standard. Mm-hmm. Like nobody adheres to that. So I just found it weird.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of, and this, I don't know when body dysmorphia was invented because It's just a word that somebody made up one day.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of people in this, and we always talk about liberals, right? But there's a lot of people that are liberal that they want to shape the world. They think, for the, thousands of years that human beings have walked this earth that we have been doing it wrong. So they are trying to like create this utopia that, is conducive for their feelings. So for Jonah Hill, it's like, I want people to adhere to my issues. Like I don't want, I don't know or I don't generally feel good about my body. So I don't want anyone speaking to me in that manner, even though there are, thousands and thousands of years where we've been complimenting people. Right. Complimenting someone is a form of, just a way we communicate. It's a way that we connect with people. It's a way that we show appreciation towards people. But all of a sudden, somebody comes and is just like, nope, like we shouldn't do that anymore because that doesn't make me feel good.
Yeah, that's just so stupid.
Yeah.
Another thing, too, is it makes it impossible for you to express your concern for someone who may be morbidly obese. For example, I had an old coworker many years ago that was very obese. He was very big. And I pulled him to the side. I didn't say anything in front of other people. I said, hey, man, you got a minute? And he's like, yeah. And I walked him away where nobody was. I said, I just want to let you know to your face, that I care about you and I'm worried about your weight. And he was like, man, I appreciate you, man. I said, look, no disrespect. That's why I pulled you over here by yourself because I wanted to let you know that I genuinely care about you. And if you need me for anything, if you need me for meal prep ideas or if you want to work out with me, whatever it is, then I'm down, man. And he was like, man, I appreciate you, bro. Because here's a problem. Concern shouldn't come in the form of insults. If I'm like, ha, fat motherfucker, ha, ha, that's not helping somebody that's already feeling down about themselves. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like that's okay. Like if somebody's in a gym and they're like, I'm the type of dude, it's a dude I used to know at the gym and he lost like literally like 150 pounds. Mm-hmm. And each day I would come in there and see him working, it motivated me, bro. And then I'd be clapping him up. If I seen somebody that was a big girl, real big, and she was working out hard, sweating, and I just stopped what I was doing and I walked over there and I started clapping her up. And then like me and like 4 other people start clapping her up and gave her high five, showing her love, right? That's how you motivate people, right? And it made her feel good. So my thing is, I seen she was a big girl that was struggling, right? And I think in that moment she knew that she was struggling.
Yeah.
But the fact that I noticed it, went over there, cheered her on, let her know that I cared, was important. Imagine if I just fucking nobody gave a fuck and everybody walked by her. I'm not trying to, this is not really apples and oranges, because he's saying that you shouldn't say anything good or bad about him. If we kept that same fucking attitude, imagine how many people wouldn't have no type of push, no type of encouragement they needed.
Yeah. Imagine there wouldn't even be IG models.
No.
Because there would be no likes.
Nothing.
There wouldn't be no bikini photos on Instagram.
Nothing.
That we all love, you know?
Nothing. It wouldn't be shit.
Yeah.
And we have to stop acting like bodies don't exist. And that attraction doesn't exist. This guy on TikTok made a great point. He put a picture of DJ Khaled and he said, look, and I'm just being honest here, you know, there's a lot of men that won't cap for Khaled. DJ Khaled is extremely overweight. He's very morbidly obese. You know, there's not people telling him, oh, this is body goals, this and that, right? But said then there'll be a picture of Michael B. Jordan with his shirt off. Michael B. Jordan is obviously a very sexually attractive dude. Is in really good shape, pretty much.
You can just say attractive.
Well, to women.
Yeah, but you can just say attractive.
Oh, God damn it. They knew what the fuck I meant.
Yo, pause, son.
Yo, like, I don't want dick. I'm just making a fucking example. Michael B. Jordan is an attractive guy. He's a pretty well in shape dude, which is, it's very not, okay, first of all, as men, when we crack a joke about how ugly some dude is, we know that other men are actually
something on the other
end of the spectrum. You know? When you talk about Dwayne Rock Johnson and you talk about like Michael B. Jordan and certain, these guys are obviously attractive dudes. Women like these guys for a reason, right? I don't think I'm wrong in my estimation.
Yeah,
that's why I brought it up. You know, and the guy was saying like women will love Michael B. Jordan with his shirt off because of how he looks. We recognize looks. People look a certain way. We are attracted or not attracted to it. But I would say that a majority of people, men and women alike, are attracted to certain things. There are more women that are attracted to Michael B. Jordan than DJ Khaled.
Yeah. I will say, I think that there are some things that we had to update as far as like,
right.
You know, the parenting styles and, you know, some of the mental health aspects of, you know, just kind of working ourselves to death and all that. I think a lot of that stuff needed updating, but stuff like this doesn't necessarily need to be updated across the board. I think that as far as the issues he's dealing with, he has like almost this autism towards.
I wouldn't use that word,
but it is because he can't recognize a compliment, and that's you know when sometimes and there's a whole spectrum of autism.
There is,
where it's like people can't recognize emotions or they don't understand sarcasm or all these different things. There's like, you know, there's all on the spectrum. I know. One guy that I knew, he has Asperger's and he has trouble like looking people in their eyes or dealing with like
what?
Asperger's.
What kind of burgers?
Angus.
He got in and out.
Charlemagne is the funniest because he be knowing terms, but he'll intentionally say it wrong. So he'd be like, what does that guy got? He got like a cheeseburger or something like that. And it'd be certain words that he'll just like flip like that. But it'd be funny. But no, like, so, but for him, I think that, you know,
Charbroiled.
Yeah. But he can't recognize a compliment as something that like the rest of us can. Like if someone says your shoes are nice, like it's like like, you know, you're giving me a compliment or something like that.
Right.
But generally in those cases when you're teaching people that have autism and stuff like that, they can't necessarily emotionally connect with these things, or like it doesn't register to them, but they can logistically think their way through it. Like in the show Community, the guy Abed, he has autism, but he navigates through the world by like logic almost.
Yeah.
So if somebody is telling a joke, he may not think it's actually funny, but he would laugh because he knows that the intention of the other person was to be comedic.
Right, like the premise of it.
Yeah, exactly. So he's kind of like, smarted his way through the, the natural instincts that we have as like Americans and whatnot.
Right.
But I think that, and that, kind of relating that to Jonah Hill, I think that that's a better way of navigating the society. I don't think you can go on Instagram and tell your, 5 million followers, how many followers he has, like, hey guys, stop complimenting me, and think that that's going to change how everybody, communicates with you. I don't think it works.
No. I was thinking about, and I had to look this up just to make sure. There was a movie called Rain Man.
Yeah.
And I think that it was like there's a parallel there because I think he had autism, but he was also like a genius, I think, too.
He's a savant.
Yeah. So it's like he didn't make those, like he's not like catching things on the fly, but he's just very smart.
I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure most of us have ran into those kind of people in our normal lives. Like, I know my friend. He had a younger cousin who was like one of the more extreme versions of autism, where he couldn't necessarily control his emotions, so he would like run around and stuff like that. But he could literally mimic any song that he heard on the piano. So like one time it'll just be a song playing in the house, and he'll hop on there and like he'll play the piano or whatever. So it just comes in many different. I know one person, and this is getting into away from Jonah Hill, but there was this one, like, I like to, because they I guess like this extremely like special version of people that have autism, they call them savants.
Right.
And we also use the word savant as like, they call LeBron James like a savant, or Steph Curry or whatever. But there was this show, and I used to watch this stuff because I was like super interested in like these geniuses and stuff like that. But there was one person that could like see, he could fly over Bakersfield, right? Say he's flying downtown and he's just never been here before. He might be from England or something. Never been here before. Fly over one time, go home maybe like 2 or 3 hours later, and literally draw almost a picture perfect image of all the things that he's seen. And then there was another person that she liked to run distance, right? But her issue was that she had no perception of time. So, for us, if you come into the studio or whatever, you'd be like, yo, I'll be there in like 10 minutes. And then it'd be like 8 or 9 minutes or something like that. Or you'd be like, hey, like, I'm gonna hop in the shower, blah, blah, blah. Give me like 30 minutes, and then you'd be here in 30 minutes, right? But she has zero perception of time, right? So they had her run like, basically until she wanted to stop. And she ran, and after she finished running, there was like, hey, how long do you think you were running for? She was like, oh, probably like 15 or 20 minutes. They were like, no, you were running for like 3 hours.
Oh my God.
So that's just like the type of like,
That's true.
Yeah, things that go on with.
Back when I was 18 years old and I was straight out of high school, I got a job at a place called CNS. It was called the Center for Neural Skills. And these are people who had neurological damages from car accidents or a hard fall, or a lot of these people were waiting for like settlements, but they had neurological damage where like their frontal lobe was affected. And basically this facility was, imagine like a big like apartment complex, but each apartment in there had like a client, right? And each one of these clients all had different problems. And I would read their folders.
Yeah.
And I seen something, there was a dude that fell down an elevator shaft. I read his story. Yeah, he was basically paralyzed. Well, he wasn't paralyzed, but he almost went into like almost like a vegetable state. And his legs were almost like, how a person has cerebral palsy? It was like he was really tight. All of his limbs were really drawn in together.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. And there was somebody else there was a dude named, I don't want to say his name, but I remember his name. He was, I might find him on Google. He was a football player. He's a college football player. And he had an injury during the game. His name was Rolly Dystra. I wonder if he has. But yeah, he played quarterback.
He was at CNS.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Let me see. See if I can find him. And I seen all his football stuff back in the day. Let's see. He's a cool guy, but hold on. Dykstra's father pursued Los Angeles. Here it is. This is the story. Dykstra's father to pursue probe. The father, Rolly Dykstra, saying, "I want to get the truth," announced Thursday plans to hire investigator to find what University of Laverne athletic officials knew about the headaches his son experienced before his serious head injury in Saturday's game. Roland Dykstra Sr., the Laverne quarterback's father, said his decision to pursue outside involvement came after he learned someone at Laverne is saying Rolly discouraged medical treatment. You know what's happening, Dykstra Sr. said. They're putting up a wall. It's really sad, man. It's a sad story. He was a quarterback, and he was blind. He became blind from the neurological damage and whatnot.
What, just hits or what?
You said what?
Just continuous hits or what?
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's super fucked up. But the story here is, October 25th, 2002, and I graduated 2003. So I was 18. He was only a few years older than me when that had happened. So yeah, man, it's crazy. But to make a long story short, there was one guy there that they had to hide the food from him because he never knew when he was full.
Oh my gosh.
And I looked in his folder and they did a test on him. They did a carrot test. They just seen how much he could eat without stopping, and he just kept going and going and going until they finally had to stop him because he wouldn't stop eating food.
Stomach just explode or something.
Yeah, if you left him in there by himself, he would eat the whole refrigerator if they didn't stop him. So it's crazy.
Like Brent McClanahan.
Like, shout out to Brent, man.
Shout out to Brent.
Yo,
man.
Brent's story is wild, yo.
Yeah, he has an amazing story.
I forgot the number of the fucking episode he was on with us, but if you guys get a chance and if you're binging one day, if you're binge listening, go back and just look up Brent McClanahan. I'm not sure how you can find it, but you might be able to find it.
Yeah, if you just search Brent's name, it should pop up.
It should pop
My
up.
face was scrunched up the whole time. I was like, oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah.
The food that he said he was eating, he said he would get like 4 double-doubles from freaking
and just
In-N-Out, and then go get a 40-piece from McDonald's and a milkshake. And I'm just like, God damn, dude. Like, how, bro?
Gosh. Crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. But yeah,
he hit me up one day. I haven't got a chance to like holler at him, but he was in Hawaii and he was calling me, and I was busy at the time. And he left me a video on Instagram. But he was like, "Hey man, I was on this this boat in Hawaii, or like on this whatever, I forgot what they call it. But basically on, I don't know, the
all right, finish the story, man.
The story is more important than, my CTS. But he
CTS. It's not called
CTE.
CTS. It's called CTE.
See, exactly.
Damn. How many hits did you take in safety, man? No, you played corner.
Play cornerback.
You should have not been getting hit that much, man.
Hey, man. I play receiver a little bit, too.
Yeah, you must have tried to go low on a fullback.
When I was in junior high, I had a really bad back injury.
Really?
But because I was in the 7th grade, I think, and 7th and 8th graders on the team, but I played a skill position, so I was obviously one of the smaller kids on the team, and I was a whole year younger than most of the kids on the team, so and that's when I was playing safety, actually. But there was a time where I was so small and I wanted to be so aggressive that I wanted to make just this hard tackle, right? And our natural inclination, if you're not taught properly, is to put your head down. So I try to make this tackle, and I put my head down, and I went straight into the dude. And I didn't even really do any damage, but I hurt my back so bad that it hurt to walk, right?
Oh no.
So for the next, after that, and I was still practicing, but my back was jacked up. And then one day, the guy, he was like this military guy, ex-military guy that was like helping out with the team. Yeah. I think it was like the next practice. I was like, yo, my back is just jacked up. And then he did like some, like basically he like put my hip over my leg and then like just kind of twisted my back. And then he popped it and I was like a brand new person.
Did he tell you a story about Vietnam when he did it? Like, this is how we did it in Ho Chi Minh. Crack, crack.
But as far as Brent goes, Brent had he left me a message or a video on Instagram, and he basically was just like, yo, I was listening to the radio out here, and what they do is they have like a whole podcast just playing on the radio. He was like, yo, man, it would be so dope if you and Eddie could do something like that. So he's just like, man, I was just thinking about you when I was out here. So shout out to Brent, man.
Only problem is like it would be cool if we were on the radio, but we really don't care because we have our reach is just as big.
Yeah.
Like we're doing this. The only thing is the audience is still slowly growing, but the audience is growing. But I mean, it would be cool. But the problem with the radio is they're too PC.
No. It's not radio. It's just they're playing a podcast. So they'll just not rip the audio, but they'll take what I imagine Rory and Maul is going to do. So they have the Sirius XM partnership. So their podcast is just probably going to be playing on the radio. So that's like what he was telling me.
Fuck yeah, I would go to Sirius. They giving the big bags out over there.
Did you see how much money they got?
I don't know, but it's a lot.
Somebody said like 10 million, but I don't know exactly if that's the.
It's just two regular motherfuckers making all that money.
Yeah.
Shout out to Rory and Maul, man. Jesus Christ, man.
They left Joe Budden got a bag.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, Joe Budden still ain't signed yet.
Joe Budden mad over like, fuck Rory and Maul. You measly sorry motherfuckers. I'm glad y'all left me here. Joe is just angry by himself now. And he has two lesser talents that came to that show. That's why you can't have any ego in podcasting.
Yeah.
This is about the audience. It's not about you. I never, ever, 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 ever want to make this podcast about me and Keith. It's not. We have personal experiences we share here, but it's never going to be like, me and Keith have known each other too long. To like something like money or something is not going to come between us.
You see that? I think an ego unchecked is very dangerous.
Oh yeah,
because I think, and I don't have inside information on what they went through, but just from the outside looking in, you can see like a situation where it started with a former rapper and kind of a guy in Rory who was in the industry in some capacity, whether working at labels and stuff like that, and then they just start out with pretty much zero attention or the attention that Joe Budden can garner from, his social media following or whatever. And then it just takes off. They get the Spotify deal and stuff like that. And, those, when you start to name your podcast after yourself and then you start to see the numbers coming up, a lot of that stuff can go to your head, man. And
those numbers ain't compared to what those numbers used to be. They are not that great.
Yeah, they're down now.
Because they had Rory and Maul and Joe Budden for a minute. They was like low key running the pod.
Crazy.
Their numbers it surpassed Joe Rogan for a second.
Really?
Yeah. Well, it was. I don't know if it surpassed it, but it was up there
with that. Yeah,
it was up there with Joe's. And to go from hundreds of thousands of listens on episodes to like 37,000. That's a big drop off, man.
Yeah.
That is a huge drop off, man. That's a low bar. And I'm not trying to judge another person's analytics, but fuck. I mean, you've been
1 view on YouTube.
Yeah, we're getting fucking 6 views on YouTube right now. It's a tough transition, but I think we fared really good on SoundCloud and these other platforms. Those numbers are still going up.
It's a long game.
Thanks to you guys.
Yeah.
Shout out to Boston. Hold on. I don't know who from Boston's really tuning in, but the analytics are going up, man. So hey, appreciate whoever's out in Boston listening to this shit. Keep vibing out with us, man. Tell a friend.
Yeah.
We're not Celtics fans, but we appreciate you guys.
Shout out to Mark Wahlberg too.
Yeah, shout out to Mark Wahlberg, man. I heard them burgers at his restaurant was fire. Remember back when he was in that group? Was it Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch?
Yeah.
They had that song. Oh, the right stuff. You weren't even born when that shit came out.
I don't even know if I've ever played that song.
Oh yeah.
But
you remember Step by Step? Mm-hmm. You remember not to show the song?
Yeah.
Oh,
The song in the show is the same thing.
Ooh, but nope.
Oh no.
Gonna get.
I thought you meant the theme song.
Nah. Step by. That was. I think it was Marky Mark.
Yeah, I never heard that song.
Yeah, man. So you too young, man. That age gap, man.
Yeah.
Only thing we really know about at the same time is Power Rangers.
Shout out to Tommy. Tommy's still on TikTok.
Yeah, it was so. Yeah, Tommy's still doing his thing, and he's still really like convincing.
Yeah,
he's still in good shape,
and I think he's. I got the thing up there. Shout out to myself.
Shit, I see it.
I think what a lot of these older guys are doing, they found a way to kind of stay relevant with different social media platforms.
That's dope. Yeah,
like he's not running away from like that. I used to be a Power Ranger. He's kind of embracing it. Like, yo, this is who I was, and a lot of people are like, yo, this is so dope that he's still out here and doing the thing, and he's not too like proud to do it.
You see when he came out recently? He identifies as a trans ranger.
A trans ranger? That sounds like a fire truck at Toyota.
Oh, yeah, I know, right?
The new Toyota Trans Ranger.
Trans Ranger. 200 miles per gallon.
Oh,
yeah, he pulled out that little thing that pops open. He's like, Morphodon.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy can still do
he got
it.
that energy, man.
Yeah. And we'll move on, but...
sorry to
You're good, go ahead.
You know the genius about that show is that, and I might be wrong, but this is it's just kicking it here. But all the dialogue and all that stuff was like shot in America and whatnot, and in English.
Yeah.
And then once they switched to the fight scenes, to my knowledge, it's actually still the Japanese or the Chinese version of the show.
Wow.
Because they're wearing the helmet, so there's no way of
no
really
way to
knowing.
telling, yeah.
But I might just be talking out the side.
I don't know. It didn't matter to me. I was a kid, so I thought it was all just American kids doing it.
Yeah.
But like all the movements and stuff seemed like real karate, low key.
Then you grew up.
Yeah. Then I grew up. Yeah, but actually the Black Ranger, he is a martial artist, I believe. But it was everything was aligned properly. The Black Ranger was actually black. The Asian Ranger was the Yellow Ranger. The Pink Ranger was a white girl. The Red Ranger was a white guy.
That was a real rainbow coalition. It was the white.
Tommy is Latino.
Really?
And he's the Green Ranger. So
Really?
I guess the green stands for Mexico. I don't know.
Dang. Oh yeah.
Don't know. I don't know if that's the story behind it.
I didn't know he was Latino though.
Yeah, I believe he is.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was a great show, man.
Yeah, shout out to Power Rangers.
Shout out to Power Rangers, man.
And they did the when they did the remake, they had Tommy and then the Pink Ranger in there, Kimberly in the in the show, like a little small cameo.
They should come back. And what was dope about Tommy is he was the Green Ranger and the White Ranger.
Yeah.
So you'd be like, oh, fuck, who's the White Ranger? Who's this new guy? And it's Tommy. I'm like, oh, fuck, it's Tommy.
Yeah. I wish they did do the remake, but I think there is a better version of Power Rangers still in there.
They need to come back, bro. Power Rangers need to come back and they need to fight COVID-19. That would be the dopest monster they would fight. A big old blob with all these little horns on it, little thorns coming off.
Yeah.
And they'd be fighting COVID.
Yeah.
And then at the end, what was annoying is how they would always try to fight the monster like individually. And then at the end, all of a sudden they come together. They'll be like, morphin' time. And they all come together. And it's
what I hated? I hated when they transformed and like morphed together or whatever. And they would just be moving all like...
Yeah,
and just like fighting and then the freaking explosions and stuff. I just wish it was more fluid,
more fluid. Yeah, the fucking big robot looked like it needed some WD-40.
Exactly,
like a fucking squeaky door.
Yeah, Tommy used to bring out that little flute or whatever.
Yeah. And then the flute made some big like dinosaur come out.
Yeah, it was like a T-Rex or something.
Yeah,
that would come out.
Yeah. But they know they stole that idea from though.
What's that?
It was a show in the 80s called, it's before Transformers. Mm-hmm. It's called not Megatron. What the fuck is it called?
Ultron?
Voltron,
yeah.
Voltron.
Yeah.
That was before Transformers, I think. And then Voltron did that first, and then Transformers came out. Transformers is so dope.
Yeah.
The only thing that made me laugh about Power Rangers is like while they was turning into the one big thing, like what was the monster was just standing there waiting for him to turn. You waiting for him to morph up. The monster was waiting for morphing time.
You might have just wanted a fair fight.
Yeah, like I'll get you. The monster was like, I'll get you, Rangers. Morphing time.
Nah, the coldest one is because I was like a super, Power Ranger head or whatever.
Right.
But when the movie came out,
I didn't see it.
You didn't see the movie?
Nah.
It was like Power Rangers 2000 or something. Like obviously you had probably grew out of it, but when the movie came out,
I still want to see that shit. I never seen it. Was it original Rangers?
Yeah.
Oh fuck!
And they had it was different because it kind of took a different journey, and they had these ninja suits and stuff like that. It was.
I might have seen it.
You might have. I mean, it came out in theaters.
What year did that come out?
And I think it might have been 2000. I might be wrong.
Wow, it could have been. If it was 2000, that means it was more authentic. It was closer to the time. Because this new Ranger shit, I don't even watch it.
Yeah, they kind of just took the brand and took it somewhere else. But it's the idea of it is great. I think they just need one of those guys. Those
I don't know if
really
the new Rangers
guys.
would be that interesting. Just probably because they would modernize it too much. It'd be like morphin' time, no gender. Like, whoa, what's going on here? Black Lives Matter. Protest. Proud Boys. Antifa. When the Power Rangers was morphing up, that was like a 20-minute process.
Yeah.
So the monsters waiting 20 minutes for these motherfuckers, man.
Yeah. You're just sitting there watching freaking robots morph together.
Oh, man. Can you imagine if they had the Power Rangers back in segregation? It'd be like, morphin' time. No colors.
It'd be a whole bunch of white Rangers.
It was like, oh, man. All right, man, we got to move on. We've totally strayed away from the original topic.
Could you imagine, though, it's just a big KKK that they fighting against?
Oh, man, it'd be a big old Power Ranger with a white hood on. Oh,
that's wild.
That went dark. All right, switching gears.
Yeah.
NBA basketball player Kyrie Irving has decided not to take the vaccine because it's been mandated by the NBA, and he is not a fan of it. He went on live on Instagram to basically express his position, and he had a lot of pushback, and he didn't care. All right, Kyrie Irving on IG. People are losing jobs to mandates. End quote. Kyrie Irving finally speaks out. The Brooklyn Nets star took to Instagram to address the elephant in the room, his vaccination status. For the first time, Brooklyn Nets Media Day, the world is hearing Kyrie Irving. The Brooklyn Nets are telling Irving to stay home until he is vaccinated or New York City's vaccine mandate is lifted. They didn't want a part-time player. Basically, he would have to play part-time, only home games if he decided not to get vaccinated.
Away games.
Or away games only. Doesn't make any fucking sense. So stupid. We've heard from front office coaches and teammates, but this is the first time Irving is speaking publicly. Irving says tonight on Instagram, end quote, I'm standing with all those that believe what is right. Everybody is entitled to do what they feel is what's best for themselves. Seeing the way this is dividing our world up. It's sad to see. People are losing jobs to mandates. And he's right. What else he said in quote? It's not being anti-vax. It's about what feels good for me. I'm feeling uncertain, and that's okay. I know the consequences of the decision I make with my own life. It's crazy times that we're in. I haven't hurt anybody. I haven't committed a crime. I'm with you, man. This is the last one. End quote. If you choose to get the vaccine, I support you. Do what's best for you. I continue to pray for all those out there who have lost people to the pandemic, to COVID. What I love about Kyrie is Kyrie has done a great job of, he sounds like me. That's what he sounds like. I'm not anti-vax at all. If you want to get the vaccine, get it. Just with me personally, I haven't gotten it yet, and me and Keith are gonna probably have to end up getting vaccinated ourselves within probably the next few days.
Yeah.
Just because, of a prior engagement, we paid a lot of money for, to get tickets to a game. Mm-hmm. So it's like, we're not sure if there's a mandate in Los Angeles to, get into the game or not.
Yeah, I mean, and not to spill too much, but there's been conflicting articles coming out saying that city saying you need it, and then you hear that it's not, and it's just like they're making it so hard for us to move around
exactly
without having the vaccine, and it's almost just like, man, like of course we don't want to be forced to do anything. Me personally, I don't feel comfortable like. The logistics doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
Like, as far as if you get it or if you get the vaccine, you may end up getting sick from the vaccine. If you get the vaccine, you could still get COVID. If you get the vaccine, they're saying it lessens your symptoms. But also there's no way of knowing that because there's no way of checking first, like, how I would feel if I didn't have it,
right?
And then how I would feel if I got it. So it's just a bunch of stuff that doesn't really register to myself and to a lot of people like me. Yeah. So I mean, I understand his take on just not necessarily jumping into a decision right away.
Yeah, and there's people that only live on two extremes. One is like anti-vaxxer, you don't want to get the vaccine and save a life, blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of them is liberals, and then the conservatives is just anti-vaccine from the fucking jump, and they're looking for any reason to not take the vaccine, right? Because they're only saying that because it aligns with their political party. With me and Keith, we're different because even though we lean left, we still are objective and we're like, yo, I don't want to take this because it's a raggedy fucking vaccine.
Yeah.
Like I was listening to Joe Rogan the other day with he had his guest was Dr. Sanjay Gupta, and they had a lot of conversations about the vaccine, and it just really a lot of things fell flat. He had Sanjay Gupta tap dancing most of the episode. Just based on the fact that there's not enough benefits from it. You're taking something that does not... Okay, here's the thing. If you took the vaccine and it literally put up a barricade from you getting infected, okay.
No, it wouldn't even be...
It wouldn't be a question. Okay, me and Keith, hey, Keith, we need to go take the vaccine, right?
Yeah.
But if you could take this shit and then you still get it and you can still spread it, what's the fucking point of me taking it? And by the way, most people do not die of COVID. I am empathetic towards anyone who have lost their lives due to COVID, 1,000,000%. But the truth remains that most people that get COVID don't die because the host of it does basically it doesn't want to kill the host. Mm-hmm. The virus does not want to kill the host. It just wants to live and move to the next person. Mm-hmm. That's how COVID works. And it's like, I just don't see enough from this vaccine that only has research that lasts from the last 8 to 10 months. So something with 8 to 10 months of research and they want to mandate it, that is wrong. Mm-hmm. Period. That is wrong, and they should not be allowed to do it. You got nurses losing their jobs because they don't want to take it. That's not okay.
I think that the dangerous thing about this vaccine too is that it's become political,
right?
And so we don't know if people are actually trying to save lives,
exactly,
because you have agendas. You have obviously there are conservative people that don't even want to wear masks, let alone taking a vaccine, and then you have people on the Democratic side who is just like super, going full force with the vaccine mandates and stuff like that.
Right.
So part of me is like, is it Gavin Newsom? Do you really want to protect, California citizens, or do you just want to get reelected?
It's just a re-election, man. It's a power thing. Mm-hmm. And here's the biggest issue too. The bigger issue is this. I think it was 37% of small businesses or businesses in Los Angeles are deleted due to COVID, right? They're gone. Now here we are, and you want to mandate people, and a lot of people that are trying to reestablish their business or even go to work now have to get a fucking vaccine just to get a job or to open their business, and they may not agree with getting vaccinated.
people have to also be vaccinated to go to some of these bars and restaurants.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is just fucked up. It's like forcing someone. It's indirect forcing of it's government overreach. I don't think it's cool, man. It's not. And by the way, I never have ever. I'm speaking as a person that has never taken a flu shot. Mm-hmm. So if I've never taken a flu shot, why the fuck would I want to take this raggedy bullshit? Mm-hmm. It's raggedy, bro. It is raggedy. There is not enough going. This is not a good enough of a vaccine for me to say, we need to take it, save a life. No, you're not saving a life by taking the vaccine. Mm-hmm. You're stop saying that. That is stupid. You're not. Because the average person does not die from COVID. That is a fact, especially if you're a person who is healthy, right? And you can die from it. So my thing is this. Because people have a problem understanding nuance, and they have a problem with looking at multiple viewpoints. There's so many things that are true. People have died of COVID. That's 100% true. But most people don't die. That's also true. Most people don't need a ventilator also. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, fuck. I mean, all these years we've had the flu and all this and never this type of reaction. Mm-hmm. I was telling your brother, man, I was telling Desmond, can you imagine how scared people will be if we had a ticker on CNN or Fox of how many people are dying from obesity every day? How many people are dying from high blood pressure? How many people are dying from cancer directly from cigarettes? If we had a ticker of everyone that died from that shit, people would be scared as fuck. But we take something with less relevance and put it up there and scare the fuck out of people. We put all the COVID numbers up and scare people, but all these other problems that have been pre-existing are way worse. Mm-hmm. No, and what Joe Rogan said as well is the government's not telling anyone to be healthy. But then Sanjay Gupta had a good rebuttal. Sanjay said, he's like, why is it the government telling anyone to be healthy? And then then Joe Rogan says something like, it's kind of hard to convince people, especially people that have an unhealthy lifestyle. And then Sanjay said, well, that's actually a good point for the vaccine. And he was right, because he knows that the average person does not want to change their lifestyle, which is why they're also pushing the vaccine, because the government pretty much knows how many motherfuckers are morbidly obese.
Yeah, but maybe just push it to them.
Yeah, that's what fucking Joe Rogan said.
Yeah,
he
if
said,
you got diabetes, if you're obese, if you got, I don't know, you smoke cigarettes or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I ain't never heard of one tweaker or crackhead dying from COVID. I think they got immunity.
I mean, they put far worse things in their body.
Yeah, when COVID got in there, he was like, never mind. As soon as COVID went into a tweaker, he's like, oh, no, I need to get out of here.
Yeah.
COVID was like, I got to get out of here before you steal my catalytic converter.
Then they they doing, making drugs out of the catalytic converters.
What?
I guess they're using the catalytic converters to make drugs.
I don't know how
they snorting the catalytic converters.
No way.
I'm serious. This is a real thing.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
You're full of shit, man. Yeah. Snorting catalytic converters? Mm-hmm. There's no way. I know they stealing them and they sell it like a scrap metal.
Making drugs out of them, bro.
No, my God, that is terrible. If you're smoking metal, you need to just God damn.
It's something in there. I don't know. I guess it's like I liken it to like maybe rats chewing through metal or something like that.
Oh my God, this is some good shit, man. This is a Dodge Neon right here, man. This is some good. Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
Like, what you smoking on? I'm smoking on some Dodge Ram. Like, God damn, motherfucker.
But no, I think as far as Kyrie goes, and one thing that I kind of caught on to late is this idea where he says he wants to be the voice for the voiceless. And I think that that's a valiant fight, because like you were saying before, there are a lot of nurses, there are a lot of even at my mom's job, she takes pictures at schools and whatnot. Even with her, they basically said you have to get the vaccine or you're not going to be able to work or go to these different cities and stuff like that. And just a bunch of jobs overall, they're basically like forcing these people to get vaccinated. And some people are not necessarily comfortable with the science. They're not comfortable with any of the things that's going on. So they would much rather just not take the vaccine. And for them to lose their job, it's kind of trash. But I think that, one of the things that he's doing is fighting for those people. I think that's a dope thing to do.
Man, this is all kind of stuff you learn about this shit, man. It's just too much. It says, can COVID-19 cause heart problems? The heart inflammation caused by COVID-19 can directly cause myocarditis. They talked about this too. Myocarditis is inflammation of the heart muscle that can impact a heart's ability to pump, leading to hazardous heart rhythms. When someone has this condition, it can be dangerous to exercise. This is crazy. Hypertension is the most frequent with advancing age and among non-Hispanic blacks and people with other underlying medical conditions such as obesity and diabetes. At this time, people whose only underlying medical condition is hypertension might be an increased risk for illness. And then this is just different comorbidities. What are some groups higher risk? 65. But then Joe Rogan put out a stat that was like pretty scary. Like they wanted to mandate children. They didn't just leave children the fuck alone. But they basically wanted to mandate children to get the vaccine. And he made a statement from kids from X to X age are four times more likely to have a reaction and than not. And he said, well, you could have that same reaction if you don't take the virus. He said, but you are 4 times likely to have that reaction if you take the vaccine. Mm-hmm. And Dr. Sanjay Gupta was like, that is true, but Joe Rogan had him fucking tap dancing. And here's another thing. CNN sent Sanjay Gupta to Joe Rogan for damage control, and they figured that Sanjay was so smart that he could out-talk Joe, and you can't do that. Joe is very well researched. He's very objective, and he'll call you on your bullshit. And then he said, you guys lied on me. You guys, you said, I don't know what fuck lied on me at CNN, but you lied on me, man. Mm-hmm. You said I was taking horse dewormer, taking animal shit on purpose for no reason.
Yeah.
And then freaking, what's his name? Is it Don Lemon? Mm-hmm. Is that his name? It's Don Lemon, right? Mm-hmm. Don Lemon tried to defend CNN. Mm-hmm. Like, man, shut the fuck up, man.
Yeah. I just don't like this. I wish we could have more conversations like the Joe Rogan and the Dr. What's his name?
Sanjay Gupta.
Sanjay Gupta. Mm-hmm. I wish we could have more of those conversations. And obviously they're on opposing sides of the spectrum, but I think that, more dialogue is important because it's what it really boils down to is an opinion. Right. There is science if you wanted to say that we should not take vaccines, there's going to be science and numbers that can back up that same stance. If you wanted, everybody in the world to take the vaccine, there's science and numbers that can back that up as well. But at the end of the day, I just think the dialogue is healthy so that everyone out there can form their own opinion. You know what I mean? I don't think it's something that they should be forcing down, on everybody.
Not at all. And you look at this, just first of all, it's like, why should you trust the government? People are like, oh my God, you're anti-government or you're a conspiracy theorist and all of that. I don't have to be a conspiracy theorist to actually put out information in front of you of why it's hard to trust the government a lot of times. Okay, one of them is like, you don't even know where the fuck your tax money's going. Mm-hmm. So a place where there's no transparency for where your money's going, yet this is the same fucking government that wants to give you a vaccine. Not only that, how many times have you watched daytime TV and they said, oh, if you took this medicine 5 years ago, you may be eligible for legal compensation.
Lawsuit, yeah.
Massive lawsuits. Those names are Johnson & Johnson and Pfizer. Hello. Fucking Johnson & Johnson got busted for like some talcum powder that was giving people cancer. These are the same motherfuckers that are giving you a shot with only 8 to 10 months research. That's why I'm not excited to get a fucking shot. Now, you could be excited all you want. You could even break dance if you want to. That's fine. But I'm not, okay?
That's scary. And I had some foot spray, some Tinactin foot spray, and that recently got recalled within the last week or so. So it's one of those things like, they're giving us a lot of this stuff. And it's I guess, it's a lot of different chemicals and all this stuff that they're mixing up. And, a lot of times we don't know the ramifications for something until, 10 years down the line when people are developing cancers and, you find out the cause of it and stuff like that. Now it's too late. Yeah, but I mean, I just think that gives everyone the right to be skeptical.
Right.
That's why we shouldn't be forcing people to do any of this. And we know people personally that have had like, strange side effects from getting the vaccine. So
Yeah.
I just think that it's a risk all across the board. It's a risk not to have the vaccine. It's a risk to get the vaccine. So I just think that it should be up to whomever individual to choose what they want to.
And we're just, a lot of us were a bunch of hypocrites. All of it, like pretty much all of us. When you go to McDonald's, if you read the small print on the side of the fucking sliding window, it says that, especially women that are pregnant may cause birth defects.
That sounds
It says it right there. You can get all the McChickens you want while you're pregnant, but you are at risk. Stop eating that shit. May cause birth defects, may cause cancer, all kind of shit. And we live in this world where we have all these things that cause cancer. That's why I'm like, this shit got to be a business. Cancer has to be a business, and I'm saying that as a person. My father has terminal fucking cancer. Another thing too, they just came out and said that there are a lot of hand sanitizers that we've been using during the pandemic that have cancer causing compounds in them. This is what, less than a week ago? Hold on, watch this. I'm just going to put in, let's see. Hand sanitizer. All right. Let's see. Okay, hold on. What the hell? No, that's not what I put in there. Okay, here we go. Okay, is this it? The U.S. Food Drug Administration is warning about Art Naturals hand sanitizers found to have cancer-causing chemicals, authorities announced this week. The scent-free hand sanitizer has a label that says it was distributed by Art Naturals, Gardena, California, 90248, FDA official said in an alert. This is October 8th, 2021. This is the other day, like low-key, like a week ago. So it's like, we always find out this shit got cancer in it later.
Yeah.
It's nuts, man. And then not to mention, you talk about the Tuskegee experiment. Like, shit like that is why we don't have trust of our government. And the Tuskegee experiment, the Tuskegee of untreated syphilis in Negro male was ethically abusive study conducted between 1932 and 1972 by the United States Public Health Service and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention on a group of nearly 400 African Americans with syphilis. It's like, where the fuck is? It's like, this is nuts, man. Just the shit that they've done in this country, man. It's a lot.
Yeah.
There's so many examples, man. But I would go blue in the face trying to explain it.
Yeah. I mean, I could remember even like Gerber lawsuits and stuff like that.
Your Gerber baby?
Yeah, or they'll come out and be lead in the freaking
crazy.
All kind of stuff.
How is this getting in the fucking food?
Even asbestos, right?
Yes.
Like we were trying to like work on stuff at the house and whatnot, and then it's just like something that you have to be aware of, because if you start knocking down walls and stuff like that, you'll start breathing that stuff in and just die.
Oh my God! Let me see. Hold on. Asbestos. All right. Asbestos, a heat-resistant fibrous silicate mineral that can be woven into fabrics and is used in fire-resistant and in insulating materials such as brake linings. Asbestos was for pipe insulation. That's why when you're working on an old car, too, you need to wear a mask. Because if you're working on an old car that's been sitting for 45 years, 50 years, that motherfucker might have asbestos brakes. And then when you take the brakes off, you might be breathing in that fucking powder.
And all that. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's crazy, man, how much shit they came out with that has cancer causing. It's like,
Yeah.
Bakersfield High School, they had that when I was a freshman, they started breaking that building down. They had asbestos all in it.
I bet.
Yeah, that study hall. I don't know. Back when I first went to BHS, it was so many buildings that was old as fuck on the inside. They looked like they had the original students that went to that motherfucker. But yeah, that shit was old as fuck. They had to like renovate that whole building to get a bunch of asbestos out.
It's not, if you're not consuming it, if it's not airborne, it's not going to kill you. But is dangerous when you start breaking stuff down. But you can't really get rid of it because it's woven in the walls. A lot of that stuff, and it's a certain date, like from 1970 or something like that. Probably backwards. Most of those houses have asbestos in there. Asbestos in there in some capacity. You know what I mean?
The problem with a lot of products is there's no extensive testing before people put things on the market. They'll be like, oh, it's safe, and they've only been doing testing for 2 months.
Yeah.
It seems to be safe, and then now the general public gets affected by it. They get fucked up. No, we need to recall it, but you don't recall it till people get sick. You don't recall it till motherfuckers get cancer. And it's like literally, and the fucked up thing about America is everything is for profit and it's not for people. If it was for people, then we would be a lot more careful about what we put out into the world.
Yeah.
But we've literally got 8 months of research on a COVID vaccine that everybody is telling me to get and calling me an anti-vaxxer and saying, oh, you don't want to do this and blah, blah, blah. And then I got some conservative people like, that's right, you stand your ground. And I'm looking at them like, man,
I'm not on your side.
You're not on your side either, nigga. Shut the fuck up.
There's a lot of conservatives like applauding Kyrie, about to buy his jersey. And
and it's like, bro, what you need to understand is your stance is different than mine because I'm objective. I can think for myself. I don't have a liberal or conservative cap on. My cap is basically saying, hey, what's my real reason for taking this? I don't see enough. This vaccine does not do enough for me to take the motherfucker. You know, that's me personally.
Yeah.
But a conservative's like, you shouldn't take it because it's your freedom and blah, blah, blah. Like, you got this candy-ass fucking reason why you don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And then liberals are just like, put anything in my body, it's fine. I don't care. You know, I'm trying to save a life. And they don't even know what the fuck they're talking about, saying save a life. You're not saving anyone's life by taking this fucking vaccine.
Yeah.
You're not. It is like, it's been proven that you're not stopping the transmission of COVID.
Because people can still get it.
They can still get it and spread it and also be hospitalized.
Yeah. What I guess in their I guess the way they look at it is you're preventing people from dying. Because if you can still transmit it, you can still get it, you're not preventing really anything. Right?
But here's the thing, and this is gonna sound fucked up because there's been a lot of people that have had COVID, and there's some people that I know of that have passed away from COVID. So by me making this statement, I want to preface this statement that I genuinely and wholeheartedly feel for anybody has lost a family member or somebody who has dealt with something in regards to COVID. But literally 99.5 plus people do not die from COVID. That is a fact. Like that's a fact. Like I think it's like 0.5% of people die. Right? It's not even a percentage, not even 1%. And I don't want to reduce people down to numbers, but I have to look at these things, and I cannot allow fear to drive me into making decisions, because when fear drives you into decisions, it's not always the best decision to make because your thinking cap was not on. Right? So
You're thinking with your emotions.
You think with your emotions. Your emotions are driving you into doing this. I know people personally that brag about, I'm getting my booster shot for all you anti-vaxxers. And it's like, dude, you're not helping the situation. You've done no research. You just listen to everything these motherfuckers told you. You listen to everything they told you, and you did exactly what they wanted you to do. Instead of actually being an adult and doing research for yourself. I've sat back, like I've literally heard no one bring up the point that these same companies, Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, are a part of so many massive lawsuits because of how many people they have hurt in America. Nobody has made that point. Well, actually, no, Joe Rogan did make that point. But I don't really hear people say that. They just be like, I don't want to take it because of my freedom.
There's so many bad products on the market.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of the things that are like killing people, I think my girl's mom, they had like a recall on her car. It'd be like recalls on cars.
Yeah.
You got to go get your brakes fixed or change the discs out, or, you know, they may change something. Even like there was a person that had a Tesla on TikTok, and they were like, this is a terrible car. And then they ran through everything. Look, it's a gap here. I can't even open the door from this angle. This mirror is crooked and all kind of stuff. So it's just like, and these are the products that people are putting out into the world. You know what I mean? Like it's a lack of care, a lack of concern, a lack of like poignancy, I guess.
Yeah.
And this is just kind of what we have.
There's a podcast I listen to. If you guys want to listen to like a podcast about people ripping people, it's a podcast called Swindle, and on one of them it talked about a oil or a grease or whatever that they made chips in that had 0 calories in it, and it was called Olestra. And it came out in like the early 2000s, and there was bags of chips. I remember getting these bags of chips, and when I bought it, I always had a weird feeling in my stomach when I ate them. And what it was doing is the product Olestra, like when it was fried in that grease, it would fuck up the lining of your stomach. They took it off the market. But what's crazy is they had all these studies supposedly saying that Olestra was almost like butter and it had 0 calories, and if you were trying to lose weight, you should take it. And comes out, it was just eating your fucking stomach lining up. And it's like weird how you don't have to go through that many trials to release something to people. It takes people getting sick for them to take it off.
Even remember you sent me that video where the guy was eating the Doritos? Mm-hmm. I forget the dude's name. But he was eating those 19 whatever.
The old ones, yeah.
Yeah, and in the video, he said that they put rounded edges on the Doritos because somebody had swallowed one and it cut up the throat or whatever the case may be.
I'm going to tell you something, bro. I'm going to tell you right now. Doritos, that was a smart move for them taking them sharp edges out because I remember cutting myself up too.
I believe it. I mean, they are sharp without the rounded edges. Like if you eat it at a certain angle and the chip break, you cut up your mouth.
Oh yeah, it'll turn into a Dorito sword. You're like, did I just eat a ninja star? What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, man.
That just took me back, man. I remember what those Doritos bags used to look like back in like 1991.
Mm-hmm.
It's
the
crazy.
OG logo.
Oh man, what it was back in the day. It was an OG logo. It was almost like the Doritos is almost in blue cursive letters almost. Mm-hmm. And it had like a part of the bag that was like transparent where you could see the chips in the bag. And this is a trip, man. Like I remember seeing it at school and them Doritos look so scrumptious. And
Doritos do sound fire.
I'm going to tell you something. The best tasting beverage I've ever had, like as far as like I guess a sports drink ever in my life, was Gatorade because it was in glass bottles in the 90s.
Fire.
Oh my God, dude.
I there's something to that because for me, when I say I get like a fast food meal somewhere like Raising Cane's or Jack in the Box, whatever, I generally always get like a fruit punch or something like that. And I'll get a fruit punch or maybe a raspberry tea, but they're all not built the same. Like when I go to like a Raising Cane's or somewhere like that, the fruit punch is just like, it got a real punch to it. Everywhere,
like,
everywhere else it'd be like low key watered down, or it just tastes real chemically or something like that. But so I know for sure, like there's every Gatorade is not built the same. Every drink that you get out of the fountain is not the same.
But in the 90s, bro, I'm telling you. I don't know how many of you guys listen to this that are old enough to remember when Gatorade was in glass bottles, but that shit used to hit, bro. They used to have 32-ounce glass bottles for the Gatorade. They had the 20-ounce and they had the 32-ounce, but they used to come with the twist caps. You know the little metal
just
twist?
Pop off?
Yeah, those. That's the exact noise they used to make too. Yep, that's exactly what it did. And you used to like what you could do too is like you hold
to annoy people.
Yeah, you annoy people. Yeah, you hold the little button and keep pressing it. Yeah, that was My favorite flavor of Gatorade back then was lemon lime, dude. Oh my God, bro.
Yeah,
that was.
I think I might have maybe in my documentary or something. I might have a picture of me like as a 1 year, maybe a few months old or something as a baby, where there's that glass Gatorade in the background, and I'm just like crawling around on a like a little blanket or whatever.
I wonder when they went from, I can't remember the distinct year they went from glass to plastic, but they only did it to save money.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah, and you want to know why? And here's another reason why you shouldn't get the vaccine. I know it sounds like I'm not going to say you shouldn't get it. That's not okay. Make the decision yourself. But why I'm so skeptical about getting the vaccine? Okay, let's use Gatorade. Gatorade made the transition from glass bottle to plastic bottle. What's the major difference between the two?
I don't know.
You don't know? Mm-mm. Plastic actually bleeds into the fucking drink. So they will allow you to drink chemicals to save them money. Mm-hmm. That's bullshit, man. Those glass is a lot safer because it doesn't bleed into the fucking product. But they were willing to save money at the risk of your health just to sell a product. This whole country is like a business.
Yeah.
And Pfizer, Moderna, all of them, they ain't no different than Nike and Reebok and all them other places. Mm-hmm. So they only been doing this shit for 8 months. You know what's funny? If we didn't get the vaccine and we waited a year, they're gonna have a real vaccine. They're gonna come out with one that really work. Mm-hmm. They're gonna have all the mandates gonna be gone. Like, I really wish I could like hold out and not get it and then see how the world changes. That's what I want to do, because I'm gonna be like, man, remember all them niggas that was rushing getting them vaccines? They all turned into monsters, and me and Keith is still doing a podcast.
That's gonna be very hard. You ain't gonna be. It's like you can't move around. Because it's mandates in different cities and states and stuff like that. Even people like artists going on tour, they getting vaccinated just so they can tour in New York and California and Arizona and Minnesota and all these different places. So, you're gonna be. I mean, it's somebody out there that can do it. Like, if you low key, like, say, you drive trucks, right? So
yes, sir.
If you just go to the grocery store and go home and drive your truck and come back and you don't really have a super exciting life outside of that, you could definitely wait it out until all this boils over.
Yeah, I mean, with everybody getting COVID, like with me being a truck driver, I'm in a truck by myself. So I mean, I guess that greatly reduces, getting COVID. Mm-hmm. But like when I'm not at work, I'm still moving around. And honestly, I purposely chose in many different places to not wear a mask if I didn't have to wear it. Mm-hmm. Because I wanted to maintain a certain amount of normalcy. And people say, that's crazy. You trying to get COVID or what? First off, these masks don't work against COVID. They're not N95s. Secondly, I don't want to live my whole life being crippled by goddamn COVID. Mm-hmm. We have a lot more things that we should be afraid of in life instead of COVID itself. We have to live our lives, folks. We can't keep being crippled by this shit.
Yeah.
But let's be clear too. I don't want to make you feel like, I don't want to ostracize people for wanting to be safe. But it's like, dog, like, it's ruining things. Like, family get-togethers, people haven't had no family get-togethers and all that. It's like, how long though? Like, how long are you going to be afraid of shit? You know how happy I was when, we had a family get-together when I was, I went over your family's house? Because my own family, they chose not to have a whole family get-together. But Keith's family is like mine. I've known them over 20 years. Mm-hmm. So they decided to have that Christmas party. It was during the middle of the COVID.
And the pandemic thugging.
It was in the pandemic.
But we turned it into a bandemic.
Yeah, she want a Birkin. I tell her work it. She want a Birkin. Yeah, man, that was so fun, and everybody was just around each other. Like, nobody was tripping.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Your girl was there. She was chilling.
Yeah.
Like, everybody was just vibing, and it was in the middle of COVID, and then nobody had a mask on.
Yeah.
And people was like, I posted something that's like, wow, so that's how y'all doing it, huh?
Somebody said that?
Yeah. Because I posted videos with your mom. She was dancing. Yeah. And then somebody was like, yo, that's how y'all doing it with all this COVID out here like this?
You got to live your life,
I'm like, man, go take care of your kids, man.
I was having this conversation with, who was I having it with? Maybe some guy was like working on my car or something like that.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, it might have been somebody else, whatever. Mm-hmm. But we were just saying like, yo, like, oh, no. It was a guy that turned our water on at our house. And he was basically saying, like, him and his wife was, I think she was, like, high risk, or she was very anxious about COVID and stuff like that. So he was like, man, I got the vaccine early, like, back when it first came out or something like that. I was like, dang, that's so crazy. But he wasn't like pushing it on anybody. He wasn't, he was just saying he got it, is just for the sake of the conversation. But he was just saying like, man, I got the vaccine and I still haven't really like kicked it with my friends. I still haven't, he's like, I'm used to traveling and I haven't even been able to do that. He's like, I'm so close to, a few years away from retiring and stuff like that. And I want to get out and live my life. I want to go to different countries and see different things. Mm-hmm. And he was saying like, and we were just saying like, man, yeah, I was like, I understand what you're saying. And he was just like, man, it would suck if I am just, stuck in the house all day just working. And, my wife is stuck at home and she's working from home and all these different things. And then you step outside and you get hit by a car. So he's just like, man, you just gotta live your life because,
or just learn how to dodge cars better. Wouldn't that be fucked up if you in the middle of quarantine, you get hit by a bus?
Yeah.
It's like, fuck.
Yeah.
I've been in my house with my wife for 4 months and I get hit by a school bus?
Yeah.
I ain't even going to school. Fuck.
Imagine if it was a short bus.
Oh.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy. Yeah. You get hit by the bus, you fall down, then the doors open up and a helmet just roll out. Get it together, Keith. Get it together, man.
You stupid.
Oh, man.
That's crazy.
I love the people that listen to this podcast, man, because they know it's all jokes. They know it's, You guys say they ain't going to cancel us like Dave Chappelle. Yeah, man. But yeah, there's that, man. This the overall conversation about COVID. There's a whole lot. We'd be here 10 years trying to express, but that's just how I feel or how Keith feels about this. Mm-hmm. But I strongly suggest you do whatever is best for you and your family. And by the way, God bless you and your family and anybody that has had any form of illness or problems dealing with COVID-19, okay? Mm-hmm. Switching gears.
I heard they had like Kyrie Irving jerseys, but instead of the 1, they just added a 9 next to it.
Cora, was it Kyrie 19? Jesus. All right, switching gears. Jon Gruden resigns. For all those that have been following this story, I'm glad that me and Keith, we chose to forego the story, talking about it last week, just based on the fact that we just needed more information. Sometimes we don't like to jump right on things when it just seems like there's not enough. That's the responsibility of a podcaster too. You don't want to get on every story when it's hot. If you feel like it needs some more development, just stay away from it on purpose and then get it on the next podcast. Because you're going to have so much more to talk about. In this case, here it is. Jon Gruden's emails were jarring to some, and the NFL, they weren't so surprising. The NFL may be America's most popular sports spectacle, but it conducts business privately. The conversations between league officials remain confidential. Their unvarnished thoughts hidden from view. Emails that surfaced this week rocked the league and provided a rare glimpse underneath the veneer. Years-old emails from prominent coach to high-ranking team executive included racist, homophobic, and misogynistic language. Once exposed, the offensive language used by Jon Gruden in correspondence with the then Washington football team's president, Bruce Allen, led to Gruden's resignation of the Las Vegas Raiders coach. But were Gruden's comments an outlier or an indication in the league's executive culture, it may have been a jarring to see Gruden call Commissioner Roger Goodell a homophobic slur. So, look, basically, I don't want to, okay, what does it say? That's Dominic Foxworth. He called him an anti-football pussy. He called the commissioner that, and he also called him the F word that rhymes with maggot, right? And then he also said that the Rams and Jeff Fisher, who was the head coach of the Rams at the time, should not feel pressure to draft a queer, right? That's what he said, end quote.
Is that a racial, not a racial, is that a homophobic slur?
The word that rhymes with maggot is definitely a...
Yeah, of course.
But queer is not.
Yeah.
That's what LGBTQ is. Queer is one of the one of the words. But it depends on context. He's like, look at those queers. That's homophobic.
It's a tone.
Yeah. when you sound like you're angry and you say the Q word, you definitely.
Can you say that same sentence in a way where it's not homophobic?
Huh? Look at those queers. I guess that's probably the best way. Sounds more pleasant, right?
That's funny.
Yeah, but yeah, he went overboard, man, and he did. But let me be clear when I say this, because multiple things are true. I'm not trying to remotely like soften the blow for Jon Gruden, but I'm also not leaning into him based on the fact that he's not on his own talking like this. And I think what's more annoying to me is the fact of how many people have stories about Jon Gruden and the amount of political correctness to come out of the same league. We talking about the same league that gave Michael Vick a job after he got out of prison for killing those dogs. We're talking about the same. And by the way,
the dogs killed themselves.
What are you talking about?
Those are the dogs killed themselves.
What do you mean?
They was fighting and one just didn't.
He fought the dogs, man. we can't crack jokes with the dogs. If somebody's gonna listen and there's a dog lover, that is just too far for some people. Yeah, but yeah, Michael Vick was wrong for that, bro.
Yeah,
fucking those dogs up, that was not right.
There's somebody that laughed at all the jokes, and then we start talking about dogs, and I was like, "That's the end. That's the end of the
right."
line.
But that's called selective morality. Everybody has their soft spot. You can make fun of white people, black people, this person, that person. Everybody can get made fun of, but if you talk about something that is near and dear to them, now they're offended.
Yeah.
When the joke is at their expense. What I will say is, Michael Vick did that shit with the dogs. He did like 2 years in prison for that. Got out. NFL gave him a job. This is the point I'm trying to make. Mm-hmm. Riley Cooper from the Eagles said niggers. Said, I don't care. I'll fight these niggers. And they gave him a job right back. White dude. Wide receiver from the Eagles. Got a job back the next year. He wasn't kicked out the league. Michael Vick wasn't kicked out the league.
I'm still waiting for, what's the dude, Morgan, the country singer?
Oh,
Morgan Wallen.
Morgan Wallen. What about him?
Yeah, I think he's gonna make a comeback in the next year or so.
Yeah, he is. Nobody cares about him saying nigger. Then you got freaking Dante Stallworth, killed a man, DUI, murdered him. He got back in the league. Like it goes on and on. Kareem Hunt assaulted a woman, got his job back.
Richard Sherman.
Richard Sherman just got back on the field, but there's not much to his story. There's not showing him assaulting anyone. It shows him going crazy.
Yeah, there was some abuse that was in the thing though.
Josh Gordon. Josh Gordon has been kicked out of the league many times for failing to uphold the substance policy. He keeps getting another shot. So
Ben Roethlisberger, he has some.
Ben Roethlisberger had the rape charges against him. Mm-hmm. Like what I'm saying is there are so many people that are vile characters in the NFL that have multiple opportunities to come back. The NFL doesn't give a fuck that he said that homophobic shit, racist shit. It's all about their bottom line, right? And their bottom line is if you do something that affects their league, they will get you the fuck out of here. There is no way that Jon Gruden would be able to keep a job as a head coach with the only openly gay player in the whole NFL on his roster. Mm-hmm. There's no way he would have kept that job. You know, if you look at it too, look at how bad that looks for the league, right? The same league that tries to act progressive, you got spray painted on your end zone, end racism. You got
the Negro spiritual or the Negro national anthem.
Just the pandering to black people out of nowhere. The same league that wouldn't let Kaepernick get a job. Now all of a sudden you got end racism in your end zone. Yeah. Like you're only doing what is politically correct and what is in alignment with making money. They don't give a fuck about Carl Nassib being gay. They don't care about nothing.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a bunch. And by the way, a lot of people that are like, I can't believe he would say this. Bro, we've all said some shit that could have got us canceled, bro.
Yeah, I just was telling you, I don't know if I told you, but I scrubbed some tweets.
Yeah.
I had some stuff on there that I, obviously don't feel that same way anymore. But
right.
I don't want to be held accountable for certain. But I also wanted certain ideas to be on there still, where because it's kind of a timeline of where you were at in certain time periods. But definitely, it was some stuff on there that was might be homophobic or whatever the case may be. And or talking about certain celebrities, I definitely had to delete some stuff.
People will judge you concurrently for what you did in the past.
Yeah.
And that's one of the issues I have is the fact that like I'm not a fan of going back into a person's past and taking it, and I'm not trying to absolve him of anything. I'm just saying what I don't like, because what people fail to realize is multiple things are always true in a situation. You can't just say, no, it doesn't matter what you say, he's racist and that's all that matters. No, motherfucker. Multiple things are true, because we live in a society where motherfuckers want to go back 20 years to cancel you for the day, and I don't subscribe to that. I don't like that.
You know, the thing that I don't like about that also is that there are some people that are openly gay now that used to be homophobic.
Exactly.
Themselves.
That's another one.
That same openly gay person now, back in 2007, 2006 or whatever, was saying maggot and letting them fly.
Yeah, they're saying a word that rhymes with maggot. They were saying that, letting it fly. And I used to use that word a lot back in the day, not realizing how homophobic it was.
Yeah.
I was saying maggot a lot. And the thing about it is, I don't do it today. I'm a grown man and I'm not homophobic, but I said it enough times to where if somebody heard it or knew about it, they would cancel me today, because people don't understand nuance. They don't understand that people change. By the way, they don't want you to change. If you said, look, here's another thing. If somebody said nigger 30 years ago and they're not racist at all today, it's like, I could believe that. People grow and change, but it's like people don't want you to grow so they could cancel you.
Yeah. They want you out of there.
They want you out of there. They don't give a fuck if you change. Look, one of my good friends that I had in trucking school, we was real cool. And then later on, I found out he had a swastika on his arm, right? He explained it to me. He said, man, I'm embarrassed. I'm getting this shit removed. I did some time in prison. I'm not proud of this. I'm changing my life. And we still remain good friends. I could have seen the swastika and said, oh, fuck no. I'm not cool with him. Fuck that shit. But the swastika didn't change anything, because I could see his heart. I could see his intent. You know what I'm saying? I didn't look in the past and say, oh, he got a swastika, man, this guy's no good. I'm not trying to say that that's true for fucking Jon Gruden at all. All I'm saying is we live in an unforgivable society where motherfuckers love to go back in your past.
Yeah.
They love it. They went, Kevin Hart, what was that, 11 years they went back to find that joke?
Yeah, that's so stupid.
11. He said, if I found out my son was gay, I would hit him in the head with a toy or something like that.
That's so stupid.
It's like, bro, and it's like people are literally trying to cancel people for that. It is hilarious. It's like, wow. You really took the time out of your day to go back 11 years to judge a person now, and you didn't even take the fucking time to see where their heart was.
Right now.
Now.
The thing about it, too, is that some people get off on that. There are people that are literally probably on a daily basis going through every celebrity's tweets to find some chink in their armor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Chrissy Teigen, somebody, maybe she doesn't feel that same way now, but she has
some abusive language.
Yeah, some crazy stuff on there.
Yeah, she's the same one that's have these extreme liberal views and calling people whatever. Whether it's, I don't say she's calling people homophobic, but she's just extremely liberal.
Calling people out, trying to get people canceled.
Yeah, trying to get people canceled, but she was telling a girl to kill herself like 10 years ago on Twitter.
Yeah.
So it's like, yo, you don't throw rocks when you live in a glass house, homie. Don't throw rocks when you live in a motherfucking glass house.
Yeah, but that's my only thing as far as like the digging for this kind of stuff, and some of that stuff was it was out of line. I think what happened with Jon Gruden, it just became too much. It was like the racism, the homophobic, calling out the freaking commissioner of the NFL, and then it was so many different things that it just piled on. And I think the storyline was more important than to getting him out of there than the actual things he said. Because I think if it was one of those, like say it was one of those things where he calling somebody, Michelin tire lips or something like that in 2012.
I don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah, I think that I would be like, okay, I would hope that, maybe he's more mature and he understands the racial undertones of calling black people big lipped or whatever. But it's tough for me because and the only reason I have this stance is because I know personally that I have said some things that could be homophobic, that could be racist and all this kind of stuff. Right. So I don't want to be this person out here trying to cancel people for saying something racist or homophobic when you could probably find something on my Facebook or my Twitter or whatever with that same.
Bro, I've seen people recently that, gave Dave Chappelle a hard time for his special. right? This is how people don't realize how much they are hypocritical. Is people that's giving Dave Chappelle a hard time for a special, and then these same people will be like, white people will be putting no seasoning on they food and this and that.
Yeah.
But these are the same people want to cancel Dave Chappelle. So is it okay when the joke is at the expense of white people or some other subject matter? But as soon as it is about somebody else, now you want to be this motherfucking superhero.
Yeah.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's super liberal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
It's nuts, man. It's absolutely nuts that, we do this. It's almost like getting a speeding ticket. There was I think Charlamagne made the comparison. Like if you're going 65 10 years ago on a highway, right? And you was going 65 because it was the speed limit. And then all of a sudden you driving the speed limit today and they say, hey, 10 years ago you was going 65. I got to give you a ticket.
Yeah.
That's the amount of hypocrisy and the amount of just lack of trying to understand a person that we have today.
But even with that, the reason why I think this is also an issue is because you can make a hard right. So if you're a person that is maybe saying some homophobic stuff in your casual lingo, and then maybe your son or daughter is like, hey, we can't say that no more. That's, it's 2021. It's
happened with Matt Damon.
Yeah, exactly. So, Jon Gruden is an old white man, and he's been probably wealthy for a while. The people that he communicates with on a daily basis is just different. You know what I mean? And he just has a look too. Like he has a look like, he got some real racism in his bones.
Yeah, he just looks like that guy at the bar that's ready to say some racist like
you piss him off and he gonna let him fly.
He got some jokes. He got some Vietnam racism jokes.
Yeah, he knows some.
He's like
some racial slurs.
He's almost like that guy. And a lot of times people that be like that, they don't even be racist. They just say really racist shit. It's almost like if you served in war with a guy in Vietnam, and he'll probably drop the N-bomb and say nigger or whatnot, but he'll jump on a bomb to save a black man's life. There's people like that. It's some dudes be like,
"You're just a nigger by association."
Right? He's like, look at these Carolina niggers trying to come to my company. That'll be the same dude that'll jump on a bomb to save a black dude's life in war. It's the truth. It's like, this is a very nuanced topic, and I'm not trying to absolve anybody that makes these racist statements or makes these homophobic statements. But
I've seen a few people too that were like trying to connect certain stories to go along with the Jon Gruden emails. And I think they kind of fell flat in a sense. Like Keyshawn Johnson he was saying, there was a part where they won the Super Bowl and he kind of took the championship trophy.
Yeah.
And I was like, that kind of says he's a kind of like an egotistical person or whatever, but it doesn't necessarily fall in line with kind of the homophobic, racist things he was saying. He may just be, like a terrible person, but I don't know if that story is connected to the emails that leaked.
I don't know, bro.
I think also he's a very strongly opinionated old white man, and he says stuff about Colin Kaepernick about, basically getting him out of getting him out of the league and stuff like that. And, even that I don't think is enough to get somebody fired, because I also think that there were probably 32 other coaches and owners and stuff that felt that same way.
100%. The thing about it, the biggest problem I have too is motherfuckers need to stop acting like they're not talking like Jon Gruden, huh?
Like Dre.
Who?
Nothing. It was Eminem.
Oh God. Oh, yeah, people need to stop acting like they don't think or talk like the person that's under fire, because Brady Quinn came out and said some stuff, and then Keyshawn Johnson and some other people. Like, honestly, I believe in not kicking a man when he's down, even if I don't fucking like him.
Yeah, that I also don't like. Don't hold your tongue for 20 years.
Yeah,
and, like, have this like very convenient story. It's kind of like with the Karen Civil thing, and Karen not exactly like that, because there were like people like Cameron that had said things years ago and stuff like that, but. After Joyner Lucas came out, there was another person that was like, "Oh, I have a story," and she took money from. It's just kind of like, come on, dog.
Yeah, now you just got all these stories coming out. It's like, ain't nothing gonna work.
Yeah.
I think these people that are doing things that are not good need to be dealt with concurrently. But the problem with it is the fact that these same people they have a skill or a service they provide that's good enough to let them walk. Mm-hmm. So if you're a guy that is a talented coach and you do some dumb shit, they can sweep it under the rug and say, "Hey, bud, get it together." Mm-hmm. But now this is the thing: Jon Gruden's done. He is done. Like he is done. He is not ever coaching on the NFL sideline again, and he won't coach in college again. Or not even again. I don't think he ever went to college, but I don't think they'll give him a job either because everyone is too politically correct. And college is actually worse than in the NFL because these large institutions make hundreds of millions of dollars on the back of the free athletes, and then people say, well, they're getting a free education. But dude, these colleges are making so much fucking money and they will still act like they wouldn't hire Jon Gruden knowing goddamn well they would do it.
I mean, and a lot of colleges are, they have like a political nature to them also. So if you may be at a school in Texas, it might be super conservative. If you're at a school in California, it's going to be super liberal. So it would be tough for him to, to get a job again. I initially thought like, man, he could probably do it because just the nature of the emails, I was like, they're not that bad. I think, some of the lingo is kind of.
I mean, when you say the F word in there, that shit is bad.
I know. I'm saying
according to today's standards,
it's bad today. What I'm saying, is they're not that bad in terms of you could recover from saying that. But it's gonna be tough. I think one of the things too is he's not that great of a coach. You know what I mean? He's not a person that just needs to be. I think he's stuck in the same situation as Colin Kaepernick in a sense, to where Colin Kaepernick was, he led a team to the Super Bowl and the NFC Championship. And then he kind of turned into a middle of the pack quarterback. Mm-hmm. And then when it came time to, him trying out and trying to get a job again, it's quarterbacks every year. You know what I mean?
He's got a documentary coming out. I think it's coming out next week or so.
It's a show.
It's a show?
Yeah.
Really?
It's called Colin Kaepernick, Black and White. Yeah.
He got a show? He should have just made a documentary.
It's a narrative show, yeah.
Wow.
But I think, and I don't know if there's a documentary coupled with that, but that is definitely a narrated.
Colin Kaepernick, show. I mean, I think in a lot of ways he dropped the ball because he should have been on some type of platform to really express himself. Mm-hmm. I would have loved to see him on Joe Rogan because with Joe Rogan you could have a super conversation. Yeah, and what I will say is this: when that show comes out, I guarantee you, Colin Kaepernick's show will be number one.
Oh, for sure.
And people are gonna be like, "I'm not watching no goddamn Kaepernick." It's gonna be number one for weeks.
Yeah, if you hate him, you're gonna watch it to see.
You're gonna hate watch it.
Yeah, if you like it. I mean, I'm curious to see.
His story is interesting.
Yeah, I don't, and I like going into these shows not knowing. Obviously, I know he's biracial, he's adopted, and all this kind of stuff.
His mother fucking gave him away.
Yeah, but I'm just curious to know, especially being biracial and being a great athlete and playing baseball and all this different stuff. I think it's an interesting story. But basically, my point was saying that there's this window that Colin Kaepernick had, and he didn't really capitalize on it. And I think the same thing with Jon Gruden. I think if this came out maybe after the Buccaneers had won the Super Bowl, it would be tougher to get him out of there. I think another team would be more so willing to take a chance on him. Maybe not even at a head coaching job. Maybe and I don't know. I think he's an offensive guy, but maybe as an offensive coordinator or something like that. But when you're kind of removed from your glory days, and the Raiders are playing pretty good this year, but, maybe it's more so circumstantial to, the team that somebody else developed and they don't necessarily think that they need you. It's going to be tough. And it's just so many people coming every year. It's more defensive coordinators that are turning into head coaches, offensive coordinators that are turning into head coaches. And it's like the nature of the NFL is just to keep rolling. So yeah, it's gonna be tough out there.
It definitely is, man. Yeah, I ain't got much else on that. You got anything else? Mm-mm. Well, I think it's time we tell our listeners, tell them good night and tuck them in.
There you go.
Think it's about time?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we appreciate you guys for listening. Let's go ahead and grab that blanket. Let's go ahead and roll it up. There you go.
Oh, one exciting thing. I am going to J. Cole concert on Thursday. So
Oh, shit.
next Monday, I will have like a full review for you guys. So
Wow, it's Thursday. Where's it at?
it's at the Forum, the same place Gambino's thing was at.
Oh, wow. Get there early, bro. You and your girl going, right?
Yeah, she works though, so I don't know. Like we're gonna get there early enough, and I got to check the time of it and stuff like that. Yeah. But
I would say get there early because me and you fucked up when we went to that concert. We got there right around that time, and it just got packed fast.
Schultz.
No, we went to Childish Gambino concert.
We got there
at a decent time, but it filled up quick.
Oh, like the parking lot and stuff like that? Yeah, it did take us.
And that parking, y'all better be ready for that parking too.
Yeah. I think the thing to remember is to know where you park.
Yes, look
like
at
have
those.
some sort of landmark or something like, yo.
It's in the letters. It's like J28 or whatever.
Yeah. Because we was walking around, and the Forum is literally just a circle or a cylinder.
And everything looks the same.
Yeah, you could walk out on whatever side, and it look all the same. So
I told the cop that I think somebody stole my car.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he
was like trying to tell you like, yo, chill out. Like, the car is not stolen. Like this happens to everybody. But in our mind when we were walking around, I was like, I know it's over. We know it's over here. Yeah. But we was walking around for a minute, like, yo, where's this car at?
That was hilarious.
And we was
bro.
on the whole other side. That's
the cop, with his eyes, he was like, bruh, shut up.
He's like, I've been here all night. No one's taking any cars. No one's stealing any cars.
Yeah, and then I was like, damn, where's my car? Jesus. And I kept pressing the button, and I think I had to walk around. Mm-hmm. And we finally walked. And I remember by the time I found the car myself, you was on the other side of the fucking place.
I had to just split up. Like, yo, if you look over here, I look over here, maybe we'll find it faster.
Oh, man, that was hilarious.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I found it.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, hey, if you made it to the end of this episode, man, we appreciate you for listening. Thank you for listening to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Fings.
We're out of here.
Peace.